Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Oh, it's just a little late on a Saturday. Saturday? Saturday. It is a Saturday. Uh, Courtney, Terrence, Sullivan, what is up? Yeah, I don't know. We'll get a few people in here maybe. So just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about this new era that we have just witnessed. The ESPN era is among us. As far as PLEs, I know it's the Netflix era for Raw, and that's fine. Raw can have the Netflix era. The PLEs are going to have the ESPN era now, along with whatever else they're going to put on ESPN. I got a feeling they're going to have a lot more than just PLEs. Courtney says, I feel like it was overhyped. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about the event, and I'm not just going to talk about match results. I'm going to talk about presentation. I'm going to talk about how it felt, stuff like that. I'm not going to nitpick it to death, but for those of us that watched it on ESPN, or it depends on, like we had different options, right? You could just have the ESPN app itself. You could get the package that was advertised, I feel like, everywhere. The Disney, Hulu, ESPN package, which is what I got. It's like $100 or no, I'm kidding. It's not $100. I know the price is set for a year, and then it's supposed to go up to like 45 in a year, which it seems ridiculous. I'm gonna have to look into more options like in a year because that seems a little outrageous. But let's see how it goes. It's too early to tell. Um, it's I mean, it felt like the same production, and that's good. It felt like the same production. So let me, for those of you that are watching and chatting with me, let me know how you watched it. Did you get ESPN by itself? Did you get the Disney package, or do you watch ESPN through like your cable system? Like, I know there was an option for me to do that, but it was confusing. Like, I could look up the event and find it, but then when I looked it up on the guide, it wasn't there. So I don't know how I was supposed to watch it through just cable. Um uh, that's funny. So, anyways, yeah, so let me know how you watched it. Courtney says here, as far as I know, Raw is staying on Netflix. Oh yeah, that ain't changing. NXT is on CW, SmackDown's on USA Network. Only PLE is going to ESPN. That's what I heard. All right. Well, yeah, I just feel like they made such a big deal out of this. Is the PLEs are not going to be the only thing on there. As in, like, I think they're going to have some kind of specials. You got the pre-show, you got post-show. Now, I tried looking up the post show on the ESPN, on my TV when I was done watching, because I had to pause it for a while and then come back to it, and I couldn't get it. So I don't know if it's also on YouTube. I'll have to look. The only thing I missed was like the very end with Cody, and apparently there was some face off with Seth Rollins. Like, I see the picture here on the WWE website. So yeah, I don't know what that's about. I don't know. So yeah, let's talk about it. I gotta say, first of all, I started watching it a little late because I was eating dinner, so I was about a half an hour behind in general, which was fine. But my concern was, could I watch it live or could I watch it from the beginning on my TV on ESPN through the Disney package? I was able to fast forward and rewind, and I could even fast forward through the commercials. Mr. Front Row. Let's talk about it, right? That's what we're doing. Bill, let me know if you watched tonight, because I'll bring you in. If you watch tonight, I'll bring you on with me. Let me know. I know it's late, but let me know. Terrence Sullivan. This Terrence needs to check his priorities. No, I'm kidding. He says here, yes, Titania Bill. Terrence Sullivan says, I didn't watch it. I was watching my Miami Hurricanes defeat the Florida Gators in college football, but checked social media and they get caught up and hang out with our Smash This Podcast fam. Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that. So if you don't mind the spoilers, I'm going to tell you what happened. But I invite you to go check it out because it looked great. It really did. And that's the first thing I really want to talk about is how it looked and felt, because and I just touched on that a little bit. I was able to fast forward and rewind a little. So, number one, that's awesome. I can't tell you how annoying it was when I was watching PLEs on Peacock, and I couldn't do that. I had to just like watch live. I couldn't rewind. I couldn't watch it from the beginning. I could fast forward, whatever. I couldn't. I had to just watch it as is. So if you came in late, you missed it, and that sucked for me. So, so that right there is an improvement. Is it a $20 ish improvement? No, but let's keep talking about it. Oh, Bill's calling it a night. Says, sorry, brother, calling in tonight, but loved having Lesnar squash Cena. We'll get to that. I would have booked it the same way. Interesting. Because from what they said, Cena only beat him once in his lifetime. And Brock Lesnar beat him, what, a few other times whenever they faced each other. So, So no, that's fine. I appreciate you popping in here. So, all right. Um, so the intro was interesting, and it was a nice little reminder that, like, you going way back, WWF was part of ESPN way back in the early days. I'll call it the golden age of cable, like the early years of cable. Kind of like, when you're talking about, the golden age of wrestling with Hogan, and or maybe you don't call it that. Um, but it was an exciting time, that early 80s, and there weren't social media was different. It was just all around different. The business was different. It was crazy. Um, but ESPN had wrestling on there, and I was pretty young. I wasn't even a teenager yet, and I don't remember how I watched wrestling. I just know I watched it. You know, I watched like the WWF at my house, and then I would go over to a friend's house across the street down the block. We'd sit in his basement. You know what? I can still mentally, I can smell the basement. I don't know what it is, but if I try hard enough, I could put myself there, and I can see the television, and we're all sitting on the floor, and man, it's crazy. But anyways, sorry, a little mental flashback there. Good times, good times. And we'd watch Ric Flair and Lex Luger and the Road Warriors and all those guys. So, but anyways, I don't want to get off track. Too late, already did. Um, Back to ESPN. Um, so the intro was cool, and they actually opened up with, well, of course they opened up with Trips, and then Pat McAfee came out, and Trips was like hugging him as he was, Pat McAfee like high fived and fist bumped everyone on the way out. It was cool. I know there's some people out there that don't like Pat McAfee. I love Pat McAfee because he brings so much energy to what he's doing in the WWE. I watch his podcast once in a while, or whatever you call it. Um, it depends on who's on or what the content is, but most of the time it's just sports in general, or whatever. And I don't watch a lot of, but I'm a fair weather fan when it comes to other stuff. Although I've been watching some of the Brewers with my pops. It's a very exciting time for the Brewers. But Pat McAfee was out there, so I was happy about that. Love him or hate him, he brings a different level of energy, and I see a totally different side of um, Michael Cole. Sorry, wow, Michael Cole. When he's out there, Michael Cole's like a little kid when Pat McAfee's out there. He gets all excited, and it's just I've really enjoyed watching Michael Cole these last few years. Um, not not having Vince McMahon in his ear. It's a completely different era in that sense. Fretz, Fretz, what's up, man? Jabronsky just got home from Toronto. All Out was dope. Was that tonight, dude? Um, I've really fallen away from a lot of the AEW stuff, and I try to watch it here and there, or at least keep up with some of it, and it just I've really kind of fallen out of love with it. Um, and it's sad to say because I still think they have an incredible roster. It's just really hard for me, the way stuff gets booked, it's hard for me to get excited about it. I really have to put forth the effort when I am to, like, sit down and watch it. It's hard for me to do. So, but no, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Um I'll, if I have time later this week, maybe I'll check out some clips or whatever. I saw there's a new women's champ or something. I thought that was cool. I saw Pac is back with a new haircut. Doesn't even look like him. Um, so yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you had a good time. That's awesome. Um, so so on to Lesnar and Cena. So Lesnar had a hell of intro. Was not expecting Heyman. Like he showed up. They went face to face in on SmackDown, which was shocking. And Lesnar was like, "We need to talk," and it was like, "Oh shit, what's going on? Are they are they you know are they firing up the band again, or so to speak?" Um, there's all this stuff with division. What's Paul Heyman going to do with Lesnar? Was this a one off? What's going to happen? I feel like I don't want them to burn out Heyman, but I feel like he could do the vision on Raw and he could help Lesnar on SmackDown. It'd be very interesting. We'll see. I don't know where it's going. I don't want to overthink it, but it could be crazy. Who knows? Um, boy, I tell you though, you don't want to get into too tight with Heyman though, because who the hell can trust him after everything he's done? You know, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, all that. Who can trust him? Can Seth really trust him? I don't know. But let's talk a little bit about John Cena and Lesnar. Man, this match, I was, excuse me, I was as a John Cena fan, and I'm excited for Lesnar being back. He looks incredible. I mean, he's come back other times and looked like, I don't know how to say it, just out of shape, like not in very good shape. He's just he looks like a freaking beast. He looks like bigger than he was back when he debuted. Like, is that possible? But he does. I don't know. It's crazy. Like, he beat diverticulitis. He F5 the shit out of it, and he's good. He's good now. Um, But he destroyed Cena. I saw Cena come out with all those kids, and I thought to myself, I was like, man, I don't know what's going on with all these kids. I said, but John, you're going to make these kids cry. And what did we see? What did we see? We saw kids crying at the end. John laying motionless after how many F5s, how many suplexes, barely any offense from Cena. And while I'm talking about these matches, please let me know what you liked and didn't, disliked or whatever. Make sure you're smashing that like button, smash that sub button if you're new. Helps out the channel. Trying to get this channel fired up again to the point I can actually monetize it again. That'd be wonderful. And I'm not muted. If you know, you know. Courtney says, yup, we did. They cried. Yeah, those kids were so happy when Cena brought them out. They all had the gear on, and I'm like, and then they're not going to stay like that. They're not going to stay like that. Sean Stapleman, what's up? Good evening. I know it's late. How you doing, man? But Lesnar just destroyed him. Jeez Louise. Cena gets up after the match, can barely walk, goes back up the ramp, turns around, kind of motions to the crowd like, hey, thank you, and just like almost stumbles to the back. That was rough. I don't know if he was just selling that or if this is all really starting to catch up with him. Cena is not the beast he used to be. He's half the man he used to be. No, I'm just kidding. Sean says, I have notifications on. It never told me you were on. Sorry, man. That's YouTube for you. That's YouTube. See, my channel was dead for like a year and a half. So I think the algorithm is still taking a while to catch up. I don't know. Anyways, smash that like button. At least do that. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for showing up, Sean. So, there's only a few appearances left for Cena. We'll see what happens. What else we got? Excuse me. I'm still tripping on Paul Heyman introducing him. That was nuts. Now I admit, I ate dinner, and what happens after I eat dinner? I doze off. It's what I do. I'm an old guy who tries to stay awake through wrestling now. That's what I do. So, I missed part of the Usos versus the Brons. Is that what they're calling themselves now? The Brons. It's crazy. 4 appearances to be exact. All right. Thank you, Courtney. Bell's boy, what's up? Hola, senor. Je bon. Hate to rain on the parade, but All Out was better than Wrestlepalooza, in my opinion. Wow. Okay. All right. Trips promised surprises. I didn't see much of any. Well, to be fair, you're right. I mean, Heyman introducing Lesnar was kind of a surprise. Um, there was a few celebrities. There was the Hall of Fame announcement. That was a surprise. Taker shows up. What's Taker doing? Now I know that came later, but the Bronze, yeah. Oh, it's so funny. Um, Reed and Breaker, the Bronze. But Heyman, wow, Heyman really. We got our money's worth with Heyman tonight, didn't we? What else does Bell's boy have to say? Says the only matches that were worth it were Vaquer versus Stephanie Vaquer versus EO match and Punk versus Rollins tag match. I hear you. Everyone is gonna have their own favorite moments and matches and whatever. And I wasn't really looking forward to the Cody Rhodes Drew McIntyre. Oh, damn. Drew McIntyre match. Sorry. It's past my bedtime. I'm trying here. I mean, I enjoyed everything to some degree. But we'll get to it. I don't want to stay up too late. We're going to keep moving. But thank you, Bell's boy, for being here. Bell's boy is really upset about those surprises. My goodness. Drew should have won. I tell you what, I was expecting Drew to win the way they were booking that match. Storytelling 101. But all right. So, and I didn't know that LA Knight was supposed to be a special guest referee. So, I dozed for part of this match, found out that the Bronze won. They beat the Usos, so that was like, wow. It's described as total carnage in the ring. So yeah, what else we got here? IYO SKY versus Stephanie Vaquer. Possibly the best match of the night. Let me know your opinion on it. And we haven't seen Stephanie in a while, Stephanie Vaquer, and she is something else. That finisher, my goodness. It's like a spinning 450 thing, whatever. I have no idea, but and the chemistry between the two, it took a little bit to get going. There was, a kind of what do they call that? A feeling out stage, but it was really good. Says looks like okay, so Bell's boy says now it looks like Seth versus Cody is set for the next Crown Jewel show. Well, hopefully it's not Is that going to be just an exhibition, or is it going to be winner takes all? I don't know, man. We'll see. That's in what, Australia? Is that the next like big pay per view? I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, the women's title match, amazing. IYO SKY and the crowd really kind of erupted for IYO at some points, and it took a while for them to get behind Stephanie Vaquer because maybe I think it's just because I haven't seen her a bit. I don't know, but Stephanie Vaquer won. Um, very emotional, very emotional. Won the title. Big pyro goes off. She really had a nice moment there after the show, or after her match, I should say. Um, so this feels kind of like that. Her winning this title kind of felt like a new era for that title because someone fresh and new that's never had it before. So we'll see how it goes. Um, CM Punk, AJ Lee defeating Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Oh my god, this was goofy. It was fun. Some of it was frustrating because you just wanted them to wallop Seth and Becky Lynch, but it took a while. AJ ended up pinning Becky Lynch, or I should say, making her tap. Excuse me. It was her. I forget her finisher. What is it? Black Widow. For forcing the man to submit. Um, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. And the post show interview was fun too. Um, I tell you what, it's going to take me a while to get used to seeing AJ Lee back. This was not, yes, Courtney, thank you, the Black Widow. I'm like I said, it's a new era with all these new champions. You got Julia as, is it the United States Women's Champion? Is that what it is? Stephanie Vaquer is I don't know what they call the Women's World Championship. And then there's like a Women's WWE Champion. And then Becky, of course, is the Intercontinental, as my wife likes to call it. So there you go. AJ Lee is going to get a shot. That's how it goes. Is she going to beat Becky Lynch, or is Becky Lynch going to stay on top there? I don't know. Bell's boy here says it was called the Spiral Tap Table, and Stephanie has now defeated Julia, Io, Mina, Shirikawa, okay, AZM, and Kari, amongst Japanese wrestlers Steph has faced in her career. She's really starting to stand out among the rest. She really is. But then back to AJ Lee, she's going to be around for a while. How long? I don't know. I don't think we've heard any details on the contract, but we don't have to know. It's nice to know, like, ooh, we know how long they're going to be around. Is that worth anything? Not really. Just until like 6 months before, oh, there's going to be a free agent. Tony Khan's going to come calling. Stop. It's the usual BS. I was a little surprised she didn't come back when Punk was with AEW. Because I feel like some of that training footage we've seen dates back that far. Like they were, helping each other get warmed up, whatever. But anyways, I'm glad AJ Lee waited till now. And I was telling Mrs. Bone when I forget where I saw it, probably Instagram or whatever, when AJ Lee signed her contract. Trips was there. He signed it too. Shook her hand and said, "Thank you for trusting us." It's interesting. And I think that says a lot because it's not the Vince era. It's a very different era than what it was 10 years ago when she was wrestling before. And it's not just the locker room. It's where the women's division has gone in general. And they've done some incredible things. Not going to go through the list. We know what they've done. In a positive way, that is. No, is it perfect? No, nothing's perfect. But I feel like it's come a long way. They get included in, the Royal Rumble and other pay-per-views and specialty matches that used to be just for men, Women all have those opportunities now too. Hell in the Cell, all that stuff. Anyways. But yeah, so AJ Lee gets the win. We'll see where it goes. I don't know if it's just because that team won with CM Punk, and then because CM Punk's on the winning team, he gets another title shot. I don't know. I have no idea. Probably not, but that feud's going to go on for a while. And that goes on to the main event. Cody Rhodes defending his WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. Let me tell you. Let me talk to you. I went from really not caring because I missed several episodes of SmackDown here and there. So I didn't see how this all came to fruition, how this came to be. Because last time I saw, McIntyre was wrestling Orton and something was going on there. And all of a sudden now Orton's gone and McIntyre's wrestling Cody. And I was like, oh, he's the new number one contender? All right, great. Oh, now there's a match at Wrestlepalooza. Oh, now it's going to be the headlining match at Wrestlepalooza, which I think a lot of people assumed it was going to be John Cena and Brock Lesnar. No, they went home for the night after the match. You know how it goes. Just Cena limped all the way home. Anyways, so, and they showed, how did we get here? So they showed some, production stuff, highlights. Oh, he kicked Cody into the desk. Oh my God. And the fact that they, almost made that happen again in this match, good. I feel like that was good storytelling. Like, oh, this is what's going to finish off Cody. And the fact that Cody almost throughout the entire match acted like there was something wrong with his head. Like something was off. He'd stumble here and there. He would try to do a move and like freeze up and, hold his head, whatever, do something. And it was like, whoa, what's going on? To the point that commentary started really noticing it and talking about it constantly through the match. And it was like, oh, there's something going on here. I'm like, there's either something really, because just shows how good Cody is. It's, it's all storytelling, one-on-one, make him believe. He's like, oh God, my ankle, whatever, oh, his ankle's shot. Oh, how is he going to continue? Oh, all this stuff. War Dog says AEW was better tonight. Okay, so yeah, you're not the only one that said that. So okay, that's great. I haven't watched it. I'll probably catch some clips just to see what happened. So, anyways, but thank you, War. Appreciate it. But I felt like Drew and Cody told a great story to the point that I was convinced that Drew was going to win the world title. I'm like, it's a new era. Why not shake things up? This new ESPN era. Drew wins. Why not? So I really felt that's where this was going. But no, Cody won. And thanks, man. Hope you're well. I hope you're well. I don't know, some people I haven't seen in here in a long time. But like I said, the channel was dead for like a year and a half, and we're firing it back up. But I loved the match. It made me, go. It made me go from okay, I'm not invested in this match. I missed some SmackDowns. I'm gonna watch the main event, but I don't really care who wins. And as the match is going on, I'm like, oh my God, it's these guys are really doing something special here. That's the faces that Drew makes. He gets so frustrated, and how many Glasgow kisses did he give him? Headbutts, whatever. How many times did he, kick his head off, and Cody could barely move. He's like, on his back, just grasping, and the ref is like, oh my God, what's wrong? And And then Drew, kicks his, puts himself through the bottom of the desk. Oh my God. And then he was getting looked at. I hope he's okay. But man, the doctor was looking at him after the match, and he was holding his leg when he was getting pinned. So we'll see where that goes. But Cody's still champ. Cody is still champion. Stephanie Vaquer is your new WWE Women's Champion, or I think that's what it is. I don't know. I forget what women's title they call what. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm very excited for her winning, beating IYO SKY. She's special. She really is. She is absolutely one to watch. Same with Julia and some of those others. It's an exciting time in the WWE Women's roster. They're not all doing tremendous things, but there's some special stuff going on. So, but yeah, that's it for Wrestlepalooza. I thought it came off really well. Didn't glitch at all on what I was watching, which was, ESPN through the Disney package. It didn't buffer, nothing, I don't think at all. And like I said in the beginning, I was able to fast forward or rewind it, which I couldn't do on Peacock. So right there is, I had the choice to watch it from the beginning or watch it live because I tuned in a little late. So, and the matches were fun. Cena's match was a squash and a half, but it let the others had plenty of time to breathe. I don't know where they're going from here, but we'll have to find out. One thing I do have to check out is what happened between Cody and Seth. I don't know what's going on there, but maybe Punk is shifting away from Seth Rollins now. I don't know. We'll see. I thought those two were going to fight forever, but maybe not. Who knows? Fight forever. All right. But yeah. And if you're watching the replay of this, but like I said, by all means, let me know in the comments what you thought of the show, what you liked, what you didn't like. Were you able to watch it through ESPN, through a package deal, through cable, or whatever? Let me know how you watched it. And as always, smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of my content hits your screen. Good night, folks. I'll be back on what's going on? Tuesday. Alien Earth. The series? Season finale. NXT's got stuff going on too. So I'm going to be going live maybe a couple times at night. I don't know. We'll see. I got to see when I'm going to be able to watch stuff too, because I got to check my schedule. But I'll be talking about some more stuff later this week. So much love, everyone. Have a tremendous week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see you guys real soon. Later.